Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the 49ers and the Ravens, and it's coming up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the NFC champions, the San Francisco 49ers. The long fortnight of Super Bowl week is over, and away we go in Super Bowl 58. And we will not have a return, so the first drive of the Super Bowl will begin at the 25. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Lance looking to throw it. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. Faced with their first 3rd down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen 3rd down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yard is?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board, and they're able to avoid that 3 and out. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Lance, man open, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. We know turnover margin always key, going to be really key in this one. And to force an opening drive turnover, that's huge.
It is, and you know something? There's one coach on every team that weighs in at the worst possible time, right? And this is bad. He just fumbled the football. Can't you just hear him right now? Son, you messed it up for everyone on that one. Messed up our offense, and now you put our defense in a bad spot.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll try and run right on the option. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That time they pick up a 24 yards on the keeper. First down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On 3rd down, Jackson. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Everyone rolls into the Super Bowl saying, hey, I'm confident, I'll just do what I did before. But let's face it, you got to be wary of the jitters going into a big game like this. Super Bowl's unlike any other game you're going to play.
And now he's starting out 0 for 2. We'll see if he can rebound. Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens strike first and 3's in. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They trail early on in his Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now Lance. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And this is going to be intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
2nd and 8 coming up. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
will go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
Brad, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was third and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. Taken down at the 30.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving the guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Jackson from the shotgun. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. It's the Ravens out in front. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
From the 17, Jackson. On target to his man, Likely. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a 1st down.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out. And
he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, an 8-yard touchdown run. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Tucker with the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The 49er offense And set to get this drive underway. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. Right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson throwing out left and finding Likely. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target. And that's how he'll shred a defense.
The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 45 yards on the ground for him so far.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. And they got 3 yards, that's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. They'll run with Dobbins. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He's already found the end zone once in this half, and they do a nice job there pushing him backwards and denied his bid for a 2nd score.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Another run here with Dobbins. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something to develop slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. The holding penalty, that puts him in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Play action. Now Jackson. Take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
It's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now a play fake. Lance. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. A give, Dobbins trying the right side. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for third down. Throwing is Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are. Yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Tucker's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Garden, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 67 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They run the option here on 1st and 10. They find some open field here. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson. We don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy is simply sensational.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on third. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
If anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Now it's Jackson. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Tucker now to add the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. That's Samuel caught left side. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hurry!
Throwing now is Lance. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Chuck Clark in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Striker, 3-3.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Well, Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. Jalen Thompson picks it, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, so Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw, it's Lance. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Here we go. Back. On the ball.
Lance and company going on 4th down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
A handoff running left is Dobbins to the 27-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 92 yards rushing for him now. A big part, no doubt, of why they lead in this Super Bowl.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Devin Duvernay, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Ravens are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium. It's Super Bowl 58. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. Room here to run. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big gainer there on 3rd and 1. And even 50 yards. A great run, but, you know, this is probably where the offensive coordinator is saying, geez, we could have used a couple of these earlier in the game.
Yeah, he's probably telling the head coach, well, talk to the run game coordinator about that. I just call the plays. We should have had this going right from the beginning.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Watch out now, 50 Fury.
On 2nd down, here's Mitchell.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Lance.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here's a give to Dobbins running right.
And some space here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
104 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the Super Bowl.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Dobbins running out of the gun.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now,
and the Niners get there and bring him down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. More multiple defenders in there to drop it. That time, finally a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
The Ravens send their punt around now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt.
And the Niners will go on offense. First and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, first and 10.
Give him a couple on the carry there, second and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Off of play action, here's Lance.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Play action, now it's Lance. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Ravens are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against him throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson.
That's complete to his receiver, Bateman.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's a give to Dobbins.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
The Ravens send their punt around now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fielded at the 33. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, ready?
Lance looking to throw it.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired, while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest game we've seen on a scramble, but still, some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points, down by 4 touchdowns, haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. And it's all over. Just one is left standing, and that one is the Baltimore Ravens, your Super Bowl champions. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way. Didn't have to face some adversity in the journey. And now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all off season, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath.